What's up, gang? It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here, back to talk more crack on Nick Foles. I would really love someone to try and convince me that Nick Foles is still the better option for the Jacksonville Jaguars. There is not... The Jaguars have scored a total of 10 points in the first half since Nick Foles has returned from injury. 10 points. Okay, they are the only team this year to not score against the Buccaneers in the first half. And you might say, well, the same thing you said about Gardner, how the fumbles are not his, fault necessarily because it's the line. That might be somewhat true, but you can't tell me that interception was not the worst thing you've seen. There's been multiple red zone turnovers for this team, and the problem also does not entirely lie with Nick Foles. A lot of it also goes along with the coaching. The fact that Leonard Fournette is the only thing that is looking positive for this team at the moment, and he is just stopped getting carries. The reason that the drives had worked so well when they got close, and the ones that Nick Foles, had the turnovers, it's because they ran the ball with Leonard Fournette, and he would get yardage. He has an above 4-yard average, okay? If you can get 4 yards per play, 4 times 3 is 12. That is a first down every single time. You know what I'm saying here? Okay? There's lots of things that are just going terribly wrong and make no sense. The defense, yes, has not been great. But they were able to stop them within their red zone, okay? So that they have to get a field goal instead. The Buccaneers have to get a field goal. And all of the scores have come after Nick Foles' turnover, besides the field goal, all the touchdowns. To the first drive, interception, Buccaneers go down, score. Okay, all of the momentum is in Buccaneers' favor after a turnover. All of the momentum. And yes, momentum, well, it doesn't matter, just play better. The Jaguars have 6 undrafted free agents starting on their defense. Granted, one of those is Boye, but still, there's a guy who's getting his first career start, Andrew Wingard, who's not doing a bad job. He has the second most tackles on the team right now because he's out there just doing his hardest. Next drive, we have a fumble that's taken all the way for a touchdown. Nick Foles. Next drive, fumble again. Nick Foles ends up in a touchdown for the Buccaneers. All of the touchdowns have been after Nick Foles' turnovers. The first drive that the Buccaneers had the ball, the defense stopped them. They didn't score. Then as soon as Nick Foles gets the ball and turns it over 3 times, then now they're down 22-0. And then after a couple more 3 and outs, basically, what happens? The Jaguars are like, oh crap, now we're down 25-0 at the end of the first half. But no. Didn't the Jaguars bench Bortles last year after a game with 2 turnovers? Foles had 3 in the first 3 drives of the game. And he's still in the game. And will probably come out in the second half and still be in the game. For some unknown reason that makes no sense, even though there's a perfectly viable option of someone who's played for still the majority of the season, who has 4 wins on the season, which Nick Foles has to win out after this game in order to do that. To have the same amount of wins that Gardner has, he has to win the rest of the season besides this game. This game they're not winning. But in order to do that, they have to beat the Chargers. They have to beat the Colts. Now, the Chargers, it should be a winnable game because of how bad Phil Rivers have played. But if they allow the run game to just explode like they have every other time, it's not going to help either. And if the offense can't get anything going, when a team is winning, the other team usually passes more. The Jaguars' pass defense is definitely better than their run defense. And that is why they were able to win games. When Gardner was getting them points on the board so that the other team had to pass more, the Jaguars were more successful. Incredible! Who would have thought? And you want to know how the Jaguars were successful? Running the ball with Fournette and play action, passing to their big receivers, DJ Chark, Conley, and Westbrook, and Leonard Fournette as well. But you want to know how many targets DJ Chark has had in the first half? 1, maybe 2. And the one, yes, was good throw by Foles. Chark catches it, but then the great play by the defender knocks it out. That changes how it goes, but then the next one, we just have another dump-off pass to Leonard Fournette. And the only reason it goes for any yards is because Leonard jukes around. But we've seen that play happen multiple other times in the game when it's done the exact opposite. Where Nick Foles has been like, oh, let's just get a little check down here to Leonard Fournette, who then gets tackled for a negative 1 yard gain. But I'd really love for someone to try to convince me that Nick Foles is what the Jaguars should be playing still. The offense has gone completely downhill. DJ Chark was one of the leading receivers in the league before Nick Foles came along. Want to know what he is now? Not even in the top 10, I don't think. He's dropped completely. Leonard Fournette was one of the top running backs in the league when it came to yards. Want to know where he is now? Not even close. The entirety of the team has looked so bad as soon as Nick Foles has come back. Now, there's the game against the Texans where Gardner had 4 turnovers. Okay? Multiple receptions. All at the end of the game. When he was trying to make something happen out of a bad situation in which the Jaguars try to do what they're doing with Nick Foles, which is make them pass more instead of running with Leonard Fournette, who has been carrying them this entire season productively and then opening up the pass game for the Jaguars to do. But they just try to change it up. Like, whoa, we got to see what Gardner can do. Why? Why are we not just doing the same thing we've done the entire season that's been successful for us? This team is self-imploding, and there's issues between the higher-ups and the coaches, and there's just problems all over the place, and they probably should clean house. Doug Marrone, yes, 2017 was great. You finish off the 2016 season well, getting yourself victory. But whatever you're doing right now is not working for the team, and you got to try something else. Or go back to what is working. Look at what worked in the past and do that, but that's not what they're doing, and it doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to do the things that you're productive at doing. But hey, I'm just 18 years old and in high school. I definitely have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to throw out there. I almost made a video last week. I was close, but then I had to go do stuff with family, so I didn't really have the time. But I'm making this now at halftime because things need to change. And I just really want to see if someone tries to convince me that Nick Foles is still a viable option here. But that's all. Thanks for watching. Adios.